Hey everybody, it's PJ from Wisconsin Airgunners. I'm out here in Sparta, Wisconsin, home of Trenier Outdoors, and I am participating today in a 100-yard Benchrest competition sponsored by Trenier. We've got 8 total shooters today, and we're about to move into the finals. The weather is Wisconsin muggy, but otherwise perfect with light winds. And we're seeing the folks who are moving to the finals shooting just around 210 to I think 217 has been sort of the mark to get you on to the next round.
6, 8, 9, 10, 8.
So back in a little bit to talk a little bit about the setup for the competition, and then kind of walk through what the day's tally was. So stand by and enjoy.
Six, 9, 7, 8, 9, 8, 7, 8, 9, 9, 8. 9, 9, 8, 7.
Trenier Outdoors is located in picturesque western Wisconsin. The range itself is nestled amongst hills and farmland. And during the summer, as the corn comes in, you see pretty regularly changing wind conditions. It's interesting to see how, as the wind comes across the top of the cornfield, you actually see a difference between what's below the level of the corn and what's above it. Jeff, our host, is the owner of Trenier Outdoors. He carries a variety of air guns, ammunition, moderators, accessories. He's the U.S. importer for Optizon optics. If you need Huma regulators or just about anything you can imagine from FX, you can check out his website, and chances are if he doesn't have it in stock, he can work real hard to try and get it for you. The range at Trenier is awesome. He's got 6 100-yard backstops. Obviously they can be moved. He's got 6 covered benches. The benches are all awesomely stable and pretty much perfectly level. You get interesting wind, like I mentioned before. And whenever he hosts an event, it always includes lunch as well as the shooting. And he's got air on site, so there's no issues with getting a tank filled or topping off your gun during competition. He sells slugs and pellets and scopes and you name it. So if you're looking for an actual in-person shop and you're either in southern, central, or western Wisconsin, or even eastern Minnesota, I would give Trenier Outdoors a look and contact Jeff by email about hours and his next competitions. The last couple of years, he's run them late summer into early fall, once a month, and he has an email list that you can get on if you're interested in future events. The rules for the event were pretty standard. You could shoot any caliber you want. He did have an FPE limit on the upper end, and you were also permitted to shoot either pellets or slugs at the shooter's discretion. Jeff had brackets set up for 12 shooters, which is great because he's got 6 benches. Unfortunately, because of threatening bad weather, we had some no-shows. And as a result, the winner of the first round moved into the finals. And then I shot in the second round. I won my round, moved into the finals, and we kept shooting until we had 6 winners, and that comprised the finals. So really there were only 2 people out of the final bracket. This arrangement meant that at one point there was an empty spot on the bench, and I had brought with me a Wildcat BT in 177 that I was, or am, setting up for slugs. And because there was an empty bench and it wasn't going to delay anybody, I asked if anybody minded if I jumped in and shot around with .177 caliber slugs at 100 yards in competition conditions. And here's how that turned out. So here we are. I got a 100-yard Benchrest card with a 177 Wildcat shooting 10 grain knockout slugs. We're about to see how it points out.
10. Ready? Good. 7, 9, 6, 4, 9. 9, 5, 7, 9, 8, 10, 4, 8, 10. That's how you get 9. 9, 7, 9, 7, 9, 10, 9, 6.
Came out at 194.
With a 177.
And what PJ hasn't mentioned yet is that he wasn't shooting off a bipod. He didn't have a monopod. he was shooting off a bag. Did you have a back bag, PJ, or just from?
I had a bag resting on a wood block and then a back bag.
Yeah.
So that was a lot of fun. And boy, a couple of years ago, not what I would have thought you'd be able to do. I was shooting JSB knockouts, 10.3 grains at 970 feet per second. And did I mention this is a Wildcat Mark III compact? DonnyFL Fat Boy 2.0 out front, and I'm looking through an Element Optics Helix 4-16. It was impossible for me to see the hits in the green. I could see them clearly enough when they were in the white. But it was just, I couldn't see a bullseye, I couldn't see an 8-ring. But a lot of fun, and if you have the gun, I recommend you give it a try. So we're about ready to go hot in the finals. The line's all but ready here. A couple of really good shooters. We've seen some 217s and even higher than that, so gotta be on the money here. All right, so that final card is done. I think it's a 212. Looking through the spotting scope, and I got no complaints, but Adam here, one of my fellow Wisconsinites, he's thinking 219, you said?
219, yeah, right around
219. And you're heading out to EBR
Correct.
a couple weeks, so this would be a good time to be shooting scores like that, getting ready for a big competition
Absolutely.
out in Arizona. So good luck to you out there, man, and we'll see how it points out down here. Of course, Adam's been scoring all day, so I mean, like, you know, I could have had a 222, and now he's counting it. So, all right, so range is cold. Everybody's off the benches, and we're headed down with the clipboard and calculator to do a calculation on final scores for this August Trenier Outdoors Benchrest competition. Fought my way into the finals by winning my heat, which pretty short numbers today, so a lot of us were in the finals, but fun to say it that way. But now this is for all the marbles. we'll see what we got down here. So I was on bench 7 for the finals. Down the line here.
What?
Oh, that was me.
Oh my God.
I said, what? I almost heard the tears flowing when he said, what?
I know what you're talking about. Little fucking fly right here. Just
Yeah.
like you and me, a heart attack too.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know.
John playing with flies on his target.
Well, I'm certainly not shooting well, so I got to do something.
Oh, this one looks pretty good too.
Yeah.
I think Jeff was on bench 1, so
Yeah, bench 1.
home field advantage for the host.
Say it is. It is.
10, 9, 10, 8, 10, 7, 7, 9, 10, 5, 8, 10, 10, 8, 9, 7,
213.
2, 13, 4, 9, 7, 5, 9, 10, 9, 7, 9, 9,
211. My card name.
8,
209.
10, 9, 10, 9, 10, 10, 9, 10, 9, 9,
Your phone's
8, 8, 9, 9, 9, 10, 9, 8, 8, 9, 9, 6, 7, 9, 9.
222.
Wow. 9, 8, 9, 9, 9, 8. Are you shooting a 30? Yeah. 9,
binoculars.
10, 8, 9, 9, 9, 8, 8, 8, 9, 10, 7, 9, 9, 10, 7, 8, 8, 6.
213.
So 213. Jeff shot a 213, which means we're tied for second. And we're going to go into a shoot-off. Who says Benchrest isn't exciting?
10, 5, 10, 9, 9, 8, 10, 9, 9, 9, 7, 10, 9, 10, 9, 9, 9, 8, 7, 10. 220.
220. Nice shooting, Jeff.
Thanks.
8, 8, 10, 8, 9, 10, 9, 9, 10, 8, 9, 9, 9, 8, 10, 10, 9, 10, 9, 8, 7, 9, 9, 8, 8.
221.
But one was with an FX, one was a Brocock, so he gets 5 points.
Oh, now they're giving him 5 points for the Brocock. Nice shooting, Jeff. That was a lot of fun. Thanks for having us. What a way to spend a Saturday, and what a way to end a competition with a shoot-off. A lot of credit to Jeff. He was shooting a 22 caliber Brocock Bantam Sniper. I think it's the HR version. He was shooting redesigns, and just is a really, aside from being a great guy, a really good shot. So I was really happy with the way this turned out. I was shooting my Mark II FX Impact 30 cal. I was shooting with DonnyFL Ronin, a couple of essential Saber tactical parts, and shooting 44 grain JSB pellets at around 840 to 850 feet per second. I am using an FX tension barrel, the Saber Tactical TRS system. Out front I have an Accutac bipod, and in the back I am using the Saber Tactical monopod. So what's it take to run a competition? Well, you need 100 yards. If you're going to do 100-yard Benchrest, that's probably the minimum requirement. Jeff here at Trenier has a great bench set up with an overhang, so even if it rains, we can still compete. He's got it all expertly measured out. Everything is leveled. It's a really nice setup. He's got 6 benches, so I guess you could look at that as maybe a limiting factor, but we're all here having a great time, and everybody's rotating through, and nobody's got any issues. I think that was Jeff sliding behind me there. Nobody's got any issues at all. We're just having fun. And there is one, and I guess I would consider this an essential piece of equipment for a 100-yard Benchrest, and that is a quality spotting scope. I picked up this Hawk Endurance ED spotting scope just as RMAC was starting, and since I've had it now about 2 months, I've been super impressed with the clarity. In fact, one of the guys, I had it set up at the competition, and one of the guys got off of the bench and walked over and looked through it, and he basically said, "Holy shnikes, this is clear glass, and I am going to get one of these before the next time I go out to shoot." It was that good, and we were only using it about half magnification. I was able to pick out the 177 caliber slug holes at 100 yards. It's really good. The other thing that once you have a spotting scope you have to pay attention to is what you've got it mounted on. In this case, I brought my Recon tripod from Two Vets Tripods. This thing is amazingly smooth, remarkably light for how big it is, and super stable and solid, and it was the perfect combination for this particular event. And if you're in the market for a high-end tripod, I would really recommend you give Two Vets a look, because they're really good. I'll have links to these in the description in case you want to check them out. If you have any thoughts about running a competition, there are published rules out there on the Airgun Sporting Association website. I'm sure we'll see a similar rule set coming from the Pro Air Federation folks. It's just not all that hard to set it up if you've got the location. We're all chipping in, volunteering, scoring, putting up new targets, pasting up holes in the targets because we are reusing some. But it's not really hard to set up, and it's a great time, and you're out with air gunners having fun outdoors. So there's no downside to it. And look at this scenery. I know there's a lot of people who would pay a lot of money just to spend a day in this kind of space. I will say that the wind coming over that cornfield, deceptive. Would you look at the pigeons on that silo? Well, what started out as a day of predicted thunderstorms turned out to be absolutely beautiful. Clouds are a little bit threatening, but we are in the car and on the way home. Pretty successful day for Team DonnyFL. While it was a smaller field than we had hoped to shoot against, John and I both made the finals, such as they were. We had 6 shooters on the final benches.
Yep.
John hit a 201. 201?
201, yeah.
201. I hit a 213, which was tied for second. The first place card was an outstanding card.
Adam's shooting all day was
impressive.
impressive.
Adam really shot well, and we wish him the best of luck at Extreme Benchrest, which he's getting ready to head down to. But boy, he really shot well. But my 213 put me in a tie for second place against Jeff here from Trenier. So Jeff and I had a shootout, and while not the kind of edge of your seat, bite your nails that maybe a speed competition has, it was a lot of fun, and I narrowly edged him out for second place with a 221 over his 220. So as they were counting up the points, let me tell you, I was pretty nervous.
It was tight.
Yeah, it was good shooting all around today. A lot of really good scores, and if I think back just a couple of years, boy, it would almost have been unheard of for people to be shooting in the 220s at 100 yards. It's really amazing how accurate the guns we're shooting are, and I hope you enjoy or have enjoyed a little bit of a trip with us here to we'll call it either a local or regional match. Not a lot of 100-yard bench rest in Wisconsin. This is about what I'm aware of. Hope you enjoyed coming out. And again, if you have a wild hair to shoot a 100-yard competition, my advice is call your friends and do it, because it doesn't take too much, and it is a whole lot of fun, and certainly a great way to spend a wonderful Saturday morning and I guess now early afternoon. Until the next video, everyone, shoot safe, shoot straight, and we'll see you around.